The restaurant was a blur of muted gold light and the polite clinking of silverware. Before Elara, the entire universe had compressed into the small velvet box in David's hand. He was kneeling. The words he was saying were beautiful, rehearsed, and full of a genuine affection that made what was happening in Alara's chest feel 1,000 times worse. Her mind was screaming, "Say yes, this is it. This is David. He's kind, he's stable, he remembers how you take your coffee. This is the life you're supposed to want." But her body was telling a different story. It wasn't a loud voice, it was a signal. It started as a strange, icy cold in her palms, a feeling completely at odds with the warm, crowded room. A heavy, dull ache settled behind her ribs, a profound physical wrongness. David's hopeful smile was beginning to waver, his eyes searching hers for the joy that was supposed to be there. The silence stretched, becoming thin and brittle. "Don't hesitate," a part of her whispered. But she was hesitating. The chasm between the yes on her tongue and the cold, silent no from her very bones felt miles wide. She felt a sudden, suffocating panic, the fear of disappointing him, of embarrassing him, of blowing up the comfortable, predictable future everyone expected. The fear was so loud, it almost drowned out the signal. Ask it, she thought, a desperate plea to herself. Ask the signal. She closed her eyes for just a second, shutting out his expectant face, the watching diners, the glittering ring. She focused on the coldness, the heavy weight. "Why?" she asked it. "Why are you here? He's a good man." The signal didn't answer in words, it answered in feelings. It gave her the sudden, sharp memory of last Tuesday, sitting beside him on the sofa, laughing at a show he loved, while she felt utterly, desperately alone. It gave her the feeling of smallness, the way she instinctively quieted her opinions, the way she'd stopped painting because it was too messy for their pristine apartment. It gave her the suffocating sensation of a life lived at half volume, a life of beige and polite agreement. The signal wasn't angry, it wasn't malicious, it was just true. It was the accumulated data of 1,000 tiny moments of self-betrayal she had ignored. It was the part of her mind that loved her more than it loved comfort. The signal was her. Elara opened her eyes. The panic was gone, replaced by a terrible, clear-eyed sadness. The cold in her hands was now a steady, grounding force. Tears welled, and they weren't the tears of joy he was expecting. "David," she whispered, and her voice didn't shake. She reached out, but not for the ring. She gently touched his hand, the one holding the box. "I'm so sorry. I can't." His face crumpled. The sound of a plate dropping in the kitchen cracked the stillness. She could feel the heat of indrawn breaths from the table around them. It was awful. It was the hardest, most painful moment of her life. But as she stood up, murmured another "I'm sorry," and walked out of the restaurant, the heavy weight in her chest dissolved. The night air was bitingly cold, and for the first time in years, Elara felt like she could finally truly breathe. The signal in her mind was quiet now, its job done. It hadn't given her the easy answer, or the one that made everyone happy. It had given her the one that was best. It had given her back to herself.